Evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the English journey of developing a second mother tongue, about its past, present, and future. It's been a remarkable journey, far more comforting than my wildest dreams. Many people admire my born language ability, want to know my past, hear about my projects, see what I can do. You will. My journey began when I was 4. It was the first time my mom took me to an English class. Other students were all several years older. Those days were bland for a child who didn't even started elementary school. Nevertheless, that was my first impression of English. My thoughts were, what on earth are you talking about? When shall the class be over? To some extent, such teaching is some sort of a zombie class. After a few years, things changed at another school. The classes there had no dumb teaching. Instead, games were used to develop our interest. That was really the most precious day for me on my way to learning English. I've never seen an organization better at enlightening young pupils. It was the period that I became obsessed with English. During my final year in elementary school, I often spent the whole morning listening to English records. It doesn't matter if there are other diversions. Just create such a surrounding. Also, I gained special ability. We shall talk about that later. Well, time flew by and English learning went on. I got loads of full marks and prizes. In November, I was knocked out in the speech competition. But honestly, I was supposed to enter the final. I made a fuss, but that's not the point. What I want is to use English like a native speaker, which is what I'm now devoting myself to. Last summer, I spent 15 afternoons on IELTS and took my first exam with excitement and, of course, worries. The result was delighting, with a total score of 7.5 and 4 marks on reading. I really loved the sophisticated way English was taught during the IELTS class. Well, what I've done, it really doesn't matter. It's all about passion and enthusiasm. Do treat English as a language rather than a subject in your student days. Don't be shy as if it's something to be ashamed of. Think about it. If you can sense it and feel it, the magnificence underneath, as if it's another mother tongue, wouldn't that be beautiful? Well, talking about that, tell me, how many of us can use English without translating them into Chinese first? It's not when you read a sentence, you translate it into blah, 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 then knowing what the blah, blah rubbish means. You understand the whole sentence. That I consider as ridiculous. If you're doing that, if you're talking with a native speaker, by the time you've done that, words have already gone inches away. But that is what most Chinese students are doing. I believe that in the future, English is going to be taught like a language in a way which is alive. For example, when I say the word apple, what is the first thing that jumps into your head? Is it the shape of an apple, the iPhone, or the two Chinese characters, 苹果? Though it may not be with ease, what we have to do is to believe. I want to go abroad sometimes, maybe a while later because of the coronavirus. I want to fulfill my English journey. Moreover, I hope that one day the world will be a colorful place with all those languages. I want to say that English has been and always will be an important part of my life. My English journey has witnessed my past, present, and surely will watch my future. Do treat it as the living language rather than some kind of linguistics Fulfill the English journey with enthusiasm and hope. And believe me, when you have reached your destination, you will be amazed by what you've done. Come along, will you? That's all. Thank you for listening.